Moody then has moved up onto the second row of the grid, taking over Steve Brogan's place, which, bearing in mind that he rides for Castrol Honda, which Jim Moody used to ride for, it's somewhat ironic, Scott Smart.
Yeah, certainly going to give him an advantage. It's much better than being on third place, third row.
Got a clean run down towards Redgate as the lights come on green. Then Jim Moody gets a flyer as well. Look at him on the left-hand side of your monitor, and then it's Kurt McCarthy in the middle of the screen on bike 16, but Vermeulen's there on two. He dropped it in over Moody. So the meat and the sandwich is Chris Vermeulen. But of course, Jim Moody doesn't have to win this race. Kurt McCarthy does. 16 points are the difference in the championship. Kurt McCarthy must win. Jim Moody, well, he can afford to finish anywhere from 6th place upwards if Kurt McCarthy wins, as far as my mathematics go anyway.
Yeah, and that's not necessarily renowned as being that good. It looks like Gary Mason there in 4th or 5th place, so he's made a good start.
Thanks for that. It's 21 it is. Jim Moody getting underneath Chris Vermeulen now as they come down towards the exit for the first time. And into 2nd place slots Jim Moody. Oh, no, he doesn't. Ha! He takes Kurt McCarthy just for good measure. Don't mess with Moody is my motto. There is...
So it's not going to be a careful, controlled ride then. It's going to be going for the win.
Well, one thing's for certain, Jack Valentine's going to be losing weight. Still, we're coming down into the braking area now. Oh, Vermeulen backs it in. That won't please Jim Moody one little bit.
It didn't look like he was aiming for the corner. It looked like he was aiming for Moody right then.
Well, he's taken on probably... He is young, of course, Chris Vermeulen. He doesn't know what he's doing.
I wouldn't say that to be on pole position.
I mean, taking on Jim Moody. I wasn't talking about riding. Oh, and McCarthy's gone underneath Moody as well. So the two Australians beating up the Glaswegian. Through goes McCarthy into the lead again. No, what a Chris Vermeulen. I mean, I want to feel help his countrymen.
Probably not. It looked like Moody then just backed off slightly. But also bear in mind that Vermeulen and McCarthy both in Hondas.
Yes, that is very true, but Jim Moody doesn't care. He's in exactly the right place. 3rd place at the moment gives him plenty of points to take the Supersports title. There is McCarthy leading from Vermeulen. Still it is Moody. Oh, and that's 18.
That's Tim Paul.
Down on the floor then, Tim Paul. Oh, and we got another ride off there.
Dean Thomas down as well. Dean Thomas was qualified 6th row of the grid, and he made a blinding start up to about 10th, so they're all down. That's from the 2nd pack.
Well, we're going to have a 2-part race then, an aggregate race. Danny Bowman I saw on the dirt there as well. 2-part race then. This is the restart of the 2nd part. Aggregate times added together to make us a winner, just to make it even more complicated at the end of the season. It's going to be McCarthy again that's got to get away at the start here. Jim Moody has made a perfect start. They restarted from the positions they finished part 1 in, if you were confused on their grid lineups just there. So, Redgate corner for the first time in the restart. Moody 21, 16 Kurt McCarthy, 2 is Chris Vermeulen, the young Australian, right in there getting the best view of it. And Glennie Richards has got a good start as well. The Superstocks winner is right there with us too.
Yeah, Glenn Richards was on his way up in the first part. Oh, I see smoke there.
Oh, and it's McCarthy. McCarthy's got his hand up. McCarthy's bike's gone bang, and so has his championship. McCarthy has blown it in more ways than one. He's out of it. Castrol Honda has gone pop. Well, it has not been their year. First they had controversy with Jim Moody. They lost him after the TT. They fell out. Jim Moody joined the V&M Yamaha team and took his points lead with him in the Supersports. Now he is going to be, he is the Supersports British champion this year. It doesn't matter about McCarthy. He doesn't know at this point that McCarthy has gone out, but he will pretty soon. And it doesn't... and Jack's already wearing the T-shirt. Thank heavens we didn't catch that a shot or two earlier. Valentine is celebrating for V&M, and look at this on the last lap. Jim Moody wants to go out with a win. He's up the inside. Rob Frost is to the right of your picture. 33 is Rob Frost, 21 is Jim Moody. They spread out across 5 is Glennie Richards, 2 is Vermeulen. Vermeulen cuts through the middle and out, breaks himself on, does he? No, he holds on just about. Jim Moody is going to finish over the line in 4th place. Rob Frost, though, another fine win from Rob Frost. He has been the find of the year. Well, towards the end of the year anyway.
He's won on the track, but don't forget this is cumulative time, so he might not have won overall.
And Jim Moody has won. You're so right, Scott Smart. Jim Moody has taken this race win.
Vermeulen come home in 2nd. Rob Frost won on the track, but he only managed to make it home in 3rd place.
Well, that is a brilliantly timed race win from Jim Moody then. Despite being 4th on the track, he certainly had me fooled, Scotty.
Oh yeah, he looked like the race winner. If it hadn't been stopped, he was on his way to that leading bunch, so I think Frost would have won the race overall.
Jim Moody is the year 2000 British Supersport champion. Just how good does he feel at the moment? Moody, Vermeulen, Frost, we will see them up on the podium. That is confirmed after the aggregate race top 3. Richards 4th, Whitby 5th, Johnson 6th, Thomas 7th, and Heckles finishing in 8th place. Jack Valentine lets it all hang out and bounces Jim the victor in the air. That celebration is going to be a long one. Neil Tuxworth commiserates with Kurt McCarthy, 2nd place for him in the Supersports.
You've done it in style. Yeah, I can't believe it. I'm so happy. I'm so happy for me. I'm so happy for Jack and Steve from V&M and Eddie from Pirelli, and just everybody knows me. And I haven't finished a race here for 4 years, and what a way to finish.
What went through your mind when you realised Kirk had departed?
It took me a couple of laps to just get myself, get my thoughts together. And I thought, well, I was going to try and win it then. You know, I thought, you know, I'm here to race, I'm here to win, so there's no point in trying to do it without winning. You know?
You had a bit of traffic to get through there, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah, they definitely made it hard for me for sure. You know, I wasn't getting it easy. You know.
Listen, it's so well deserved. You've had a brilliant partnership with V&M.
Brilliant. Yeah.
What's the future hold?
Hopefully we'll get something sorted for next year, and bigger and better even next year. I hope so. You know, because you know, my team's just been absolutely brilliant. I've never had a team that's been so 100% behind me. It's just amazing. Extra special considering everything you've been through this season. Yeah, that's after everything that's been through, and you know, and Jack and Steve coming in and bailing me out, and then getting the sponsors on board. I just really wanted to. This is the best way I could thank them, and I just wanted it so much, you know. It's a dream come true and thoroughly well deserved. Jim Moody, congratulations. Thanks.
It's very rare indeed to see Jim Moody so emotional, but what a deserved win that was. There's his girlfriend Miriam. Moody will be celebrating, and quite right too. He's a great lad and liked around the paddock, as is Kurt McCarthy, but he must settle for second place today. Dean Thomas is third, Howard Whitby fourth, Glennie Richards and Christopher Mullen, the teammates, fifth and sixth. Rob Frost, seventh in the end after that fine ride, and Gary Mason, eighth. No doubt about the man on top of the podium today, though, and on top of the championship, it is, of course, the Scotsman, Jim Moody and Jack Valentine from V&M Motorcycles. Next, it's the final race of the British Championship year, the Superbikes. This is it. The British Superbike Championship is about to be sorted out at Donington Park. Be left standing, Walker or Hodgson. 12 points differentiate between the two of them. No one else matters as far as the British Superbike Championship is concerned. That's how they line up on the front two rows. Crawford, Plater, Hayden and Kipp are on row 3. Emmett, Williamson, Ellison and Wood are on row 4. This is it for the year 2000. What a season it's been as they come to the line for the last time. Chris Walker pats the National Tyre Suzuki. Neil Hodgson looks across almost reverently, I've got to say, at Walker. The red light's about to come on. They are about to come under starters' orders for the last time in Neil Mackenzie's case on bike number 7. It is the last time in his career from row 2, but it is Walker one more time, every single time. He makes that whole shot on the Suzuki to Redgate for the first time. The hooters are going. It is Hodgson that slips into second place, and that looked like Mackenzie was there in 4th place behind Reynolds.
Reynolds has made a good start from the second row of the grid as well, so that's just where he needs to be.
He did brilliantly in race 1 as well, Reynolds. He got off the line so quick to get into second place in the end, but it is Walker versus Hodgson, these two. Now, let's go through the scenario. No choice for the man in second place, Neil Hodgson, on bike number 4. He has to win this race with Walker finishing lower than 4th. If Walker finishes 4th in this race, then he will be champion on countback. Looking back at Neil Mackenzie, teammate to Neil Hodgson, who's given us the pictures. We look back at Plater, aviated with the front of that Kawasaki, losing time. Rutter's there on bike 31, just to the left of your screen. And round the outside, wow, goes Mackenzie, and dropping straight in there at bike number 3, John Reynolds.
Mackenzie wants to make this last one count, doesn't he?
I would have. Number 2, Chris Walker, leads from Hodgson, just from Reynolds. Deja Vu, these three battling out in race 1. Flames out the back of the Suzuki there as he drops it through the S's, onto the Wheatcroft straight, the front straight then, up to something like 150 miles an hour now. But they go past their pit bulls. Walker, looking as determined as ever, gets his bum right across the other side of the seat to transfer his weight perfectly for Redgate Corner. It's Hodgson riding his slipstream behind him as they come along Hollywood. Just a little bit of a wiggle there from putting the power down too hard. John Reynolds makes the rear end of the Red Bull Ducati squirm under pressure. Down Craners. This is the old hairpin. Into the old hairpin. These three are all absolutely expert at this racetrack, Scott.
Hodgson looks really, really smooth at the moment. They're only a couple of laps in, but he looks to be taking the smoother lines than Walker is.
Up into McLean's braking area now. You're right, Hodgson is an absolute menace. He's right there on the case of Chris Walker. Maybe the tactic is to frighten Chris Walker into a mistake that takes him off the track. I'm sure these two won't be coming